Hi, I'm Brian Moran, founder of Government CIO. Welcome to Government CIO Magazine.
Hi, this is Hillary Wax for Government CIO Magazine. Today we will be interviewing Sanjay Sardar, the Chief Information Officer for the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission.
So for any successful measure that we look at, while working across disciplines, there are many stakeholders who are in play. I think you have to make sure that all of them are satisfied. Primarily, though, it's the delivery of either product or service that makes most sense. If that product or service is not delivered in the timely manner, in the way that it was promised, and achieves the goal that it was promised, it's not successful. I think from a cross-collaborative or cross-platform initiatives, you have to say, did everybody put in all the things that they needed to get, or did they get everything that they needed to get out of the delivery? If they did, it's successful. If it's not, it's not. For me and my organization, we look at it as, yes, there's an effort component to it, a successful measure for effort, but truly it's that service level agreement that you're signing up to when you say you're going to deliver a product or a service. If you've met that, then you're successful. Otherwise, you're not. The most important trait that we have found from an IT team is the ability to listen to one another. I think even amongst IT guys are very technical in how they speak, how they interact. But even amongst the disciplines that we have in place, they're talking different languages. Software guys talk very differently from infrastructure guys who talk very differently from testing folks. I think the ability to listen to one another, to truly try and understand what are the goals each other have to, or what are the constraints each other are working under, that is absolutely the most important trait that they have. Without it, what you get is there's a cartoon that's been around for a long time where the customer wants a swing set, but what you end up with was some monstrosity of that nature. And primarily that's because the teams aren't working together. They're really not listening to each other. They're really not trying to collaborate. They may be trying to collaborate, but they're really not collaborating. So that ability to facilitate the discussion, the language, the terminology that's used, that's, I think, the most important trait that we have. We have implemented a very strong change control process. That change control process starts from conception and it takes us all the way to disposition. It does go through the process of understanding what we need, who the stakeholders are, what the timelines are, what factors influence the delivery or the build. It's a very stringent process that we have. At times people would say it's overbearing, but it really is a very good method for us to keep that collaboration flowing in the way we want it. And from those of us who are more on the monitoring and oversight side, it's a great way for us to understand where in the process we are, what the bottlenecks are, what the holdups are, and allow us to facilitate that collaboration that the teams need to have. So I think change control for us is it's a very big thing that we focus on. It's at the core of everything we do, and that's how we kind of try to keep our collaboration in line. So cost savings wise, or cost avoidance wise, it's always that cost of rework that is the issue. When you're doing something, and if it's not done right the first time, how much does it cost to redo all those things? With the functional collaboration, if that's working correctly, that cost of rework should be minimized. In all aspects of what we try to do, if we've planned it correctly, if we're trying to collaborate, yeah, we might have to do something because not everything works perfectly. But that cost of rework should be as limited as possible. We actually, from our performance management organization, what we do is there is no incentive. Well, there are incentives for singular performance, individual performance, but there is a component of team performance. So if the objective is not met, it really doesn't matter if you did your job. If the objective is not met, it's not met across the whole team. So it's not a, well, I did my job, but they didn't. Sure, that exists. That doesn't matter. What we strive for is trying to get everybody on the team to look out for the best interests of the overall goal. You know, in all our teams, all the things that we work with, we always continuously say, look, if don't sit around and wait for something to happen. If you're expecting something and you didn't get it, go over, talk to someone, go find out what's the holdup. So it's always a proactive approach from every angle. Collaboration-wise, that sometimes might seem like, well, it's I'm stepping on somebody else's toes. But the reality is, if somebody didn't do that and the objective wasn't met, we all fail as a team. So I think we try to look at it as from an incentive perspective. That combined goal, that combined factor in your incentive plan, that's huge for us. So everything we do at the FERC, at the Commission, is a cross-discipline effort. Everything from upgrading our internal systems to putting in new things. So I'll give you an example of servers. We were talking about upgrading potentially our data center and our servers. That's a cross-discipline effort for us because we start off by looking at, well, what's the new technology out there? So there's an engineering component to it. There's a financial component to it. There's a security component to it. So all those things actually do feed into our cross-discipline methodology. In this new calendar year, specifically, we have a couple of initiatives that are going very well. Data center modernization is one of them. We are modernizing our entire infrastructure. We went from a platform that we used to use, a very traditional model, to a much more enhanced model, coming up using the Cisco's UC infrastructure. On top of that, we're looking at virtual private clouds. So how do we integrate the Amazons of the world, the Googles of the world into what we do? Those are very big cross-discipline efforts for us. And then as a specific one, we have eLibrary, which is the Commission's record management system. That's going to be upgraded and modernized. It's a 10-year-old system, but it holds every record that the Commission has ever used. Modernizing that's going to be not only involve all the cross-disciplines of all of my IT folks, but of all the program offices as well, the lawyers, the judges, etc., that use it. So I will say that at the FERC, I'm very proud of the team who's here. They've done an extremely good, both on the contractor side and on our internal staff side, of working in a cross-discipline manner. I think there's a natural tension between these disciplines, these functional disciplines, because they all have different goals that they're trying to meet. Objectives are the same overall, that we are all trying to get a product or a service out, but they have different ways of doing it. They have different constraints, etc. So I'm very, very proud of the team that they've been able to achieve working in this framework. We're not an easy framework to work in. So I would say that our biggest achievement is, when I look across the team today, I see a lot of agreement in how our change process works, in understanding that, you know, when we put something out, there's impact across the board. It is not as simple as, let's just fix something. That kind of mentality, that change in mindset, is actually pretty difficult to achieve. And having done that, I think we're very proud of that. Yeah, fail often and fail consistently. I mean, that's the only way you learn. I think it took us a while to keep working at it. It's a nuance in the sense of, when you set up a process you believe should work, there's always going to be a few things that don't. You know, keep at it, keep churning, if you will, until you get it right, and never stop trying to improve that process. I think where we are, and I'm very happy at the point we are, even there's so much improvement we could do. There's so much efficiency we can gain from our processes that we haven't yet done. But keeping, pushing the envelope all the time, that actually helps get you where you need to be. So I'm very happy with it. The FERC, strategically, where we want to go is we're a highly innovative culture. Our organization, our program offices, they're very well educated folks, in the sense of we are primarily lawyers, engineers, judges. They're all adept with the technologies that we put in front of them at various levels and various skill sets. We, as a strategic outlook, we want to be in that position where we're saying work anywhere. So we have a concept called FERC at work, which effectively means, whether you're working on your phone, your iPad, your laptop, your GFE laptop, whether you're here, whether you're at Starbucks, whether you're at, hopefully not on the beach, but if you are, you can work. You can work as if you're working at FERC. FERC is a community, it's not a location. So we are pushing that envelope pretty hard. We want to adopt all the mandates that are coming out for telework, for remote access, for BYOD, and we are trying to be very innovative about it, so hopefully we'll get there.